the main reason for this podcast. It is motivation to carry you through your week. Now, I don't care if you watch Motivation Mondays on my YouTube channel on a Monday, or if you wait until halfway through the week. Consistency will take you places that motivation alone cannot. And that's why I want to be a consistent force of motivation for you, to make you guys realize that even when our problems may make us feel like we're alone, we're not alone, because there's billions of people in the world experiencing the world in billions of different ways every single day. We all have the same 24 hours, but how we choose to use them varies from person to person, and it all comes down to personal choices. That's why I've been telling you guys week after week that equity of opportunity does not make sense, and this is why. When you take equity of opportunity, and people talk about equity and equality and all these other things, you're taking away the accountability of personal choices. We talk a lot on motivation about how we are, the life we're living right now is the compound interest of all the choices we made just a few short years ago. And the choices that we make now will provide a compound interest for the life we're going to be living just a few years from now. Life is all about a series of choices, okay? We can all be born and all have a certain upbringing. And so, for example, what I'm trying to say is you can have 3 children, right, that all grow up in the same exact home, under the same exact circumstances, all have the same exact set of rules, the same access to everything, and they all get the same upbringing with the same set of rules, same morals, same values, everything. And you're going to have 3 different children with 3 different lives, because it all comes down to individual choices. Not everybody is meant to be a doctor. That doesn't mean there is a disparity. It just means not everybody is meant to be a doctor, okay? Not everybody is a good teacher. Not everybody is meant to be a mechanic or a CEO, okay? You know, it's all about personal choices and accountability. When you have equity of opportunity, that basically means somebody can do everything wrong, not work for anything, and just be handed an opportunity. Whereas you can work so hard, do everything the right way, and then you're still on the same playing field as someone that did everything wrong and didn't work for it at all. That's why life isn't fair, and that's why equity of opportunity doesn't make sense, okay? We have to learn to be accountable for our actions, and sometimes our actions lead to jealousy. But I think some people don't understand what jealousy can actually be sometimes. Like people see jealousy as a very one-sided thing. Like they only think of jealousy in certain terms, in certain ways, okay? But I think jealousy also has a different side to it, which also comes down to personal choices. Now, I think a lot of you, if you are really listening to these Motivation Mondays and listening to motivation on this podcast, we've been talking about breaking generational curses and providing generational prosperity for our future selves, our future families, and future generations of our family. We're talking about breaking cycles and having a vested interest in our own successes instead of other people having a vested interest in our silence. We are making a stand and saying all of this generational trauma stops here, stops with me, stops right now. I'm breaking it. It's done. I forgive you, but you also don't have access anymore. That's not easy to do. If it was easy to do, everybody would do it. Everybody would have it. There would be no generational curses. Everybody would be living their best lives. But that's not the reality that we live in. That's not how the world works. It comes down to a series of choices, conscious choices and subconscious choices, both actions and inactions. And sometimes when you are the person that breaks the mold, when you are the person that breaks that negative cycle and goes against that vested silence, and you decide you want better, to do better, to achieve better, to represent better, to do better, okay, for yourself, for your future, for everyone, and to be the adult you needed as a child, that is going to create some jealousy, because not everybody can do that, because not everybody wants to do that, because, like we were talking about last week, they have a vested interest in your silence, in the status quo. So that leads me to today, to jealousy. Sometimes what you think is jealousy really isn't jealousy, and then other times what you don't realize is jealousy really is jealousy. What does that mean? Sometimes what causes jealousy is not your money, it's not your relationship, it's not your job, it's not your car. Because jealous people can literally have all of those things that you have and more, if they made certain choices, different choices, okay? So that's why I say it all comes down to accountability and choices. It's your habits, it's your consistency, it's this, it's that, and the other. All things that are not easy, right? Sometimes jealousy, it's not those things. Sometimes what causes jealousy is your aura. It's your energy. It's your essence. It's how you shine different. It's how when your happiness radiates through. It's how you follow through on the things in your life with integrity. It's how you stay true to your moral compass. Sometimes jealousy, it's about that. Sometimes though that's something that people cannot control or take away from you. It's something that cannot be turned off. That is what causes jealousy in some people. Because once you sell off your integrity, you can't buy that back in a store. Once it's gone, it's gone. So what is the person who sold it going to do? They're going to see you who has their integrity intact and their moral compass being their guide, and you shining with this light that is all your own, right? This happiness looking so great on you, motivation, consistently working for your goals and staying true to who you are as a person. They can't do that. They don't know how to do that. They don't want to do that because it's easier to tear you down than it is to build themselves up. And that is what sometimes makes them jealous. Not your car, not your job, not your relationship. Sometimes it's your energy. It's how you shine different in a way that they know that they will not, because they're not making similar choices for themselves. They could, but they're not going to. Those are the types of people that will ride with you, but they're not for you. Those are the types of people that are and do have a vested interest in your silence. Because if you are silent, and you're doing the same things as them, it makes them feel better about the choices that they have made, because now they're influencing you to do the same thing. That's how generational curses get passed down. That's how generational trauma gets passed down. That's how all kinds of toxic positivity gets passed down. It's how it works. That is the matrix, my friends. So sometimes you have to realize that not everybody riding with you is for you, and not everybody seeing you succeed wants to see you succeed. Sometimes it's not about your job. It's not about your face. It's not about your relationship or your car or your bank account. Sometimes it is just about who you are, and them knowing that they cannot do anything to change who you are, because that is your character. That is your personality. That shines different, doesn't it?